Hey, fellow INFJ folk, it's Comanche to INFJ, and there's this question. Is it hard to be loved as an INFJ? And to start off right away, yes and no. Here's the INFJ contradiction. What can contradict? A walking contradiction, as it says, as we come to figure out, as we struggle with all the time. Am I right? Um, so then there's like kind of like two ways, or more than two ways. It's complex. Is it hard to be loved? And looking from an outside perspective, like I try and ask my wife, and is it hard to love me? And she, being what she is, an ISFP, is able to. She just aligns with me. That's all I'm saying. She aligns with me. So she's more laid back, and she complies with the things and the struggles and the contradictions that I am. And the same with me with her. Like we comply, we work with it, right? Because we have an understanding what a relationship is. It's work, constant work, all the time, to understand where we can go and where we can't go, or at least where we should try and avoid if we don't want to get in a debate or, you know. So is it hard to be loved? And so when I'm thinking on that external view, I could see how it would be difficult to love. So the yes, meaning that how I'm always challenging. So like I think about my mom. I always challenge my mom, but not to where I'm not gonna not listen to her. It's just I challenge because I want a deeper understanding of the reasonings of her believing what she believes and why she raised me the way that she raised me. And the restrictions that I had as a kid and a teen, and even to now, where she's a Christian, and I question her, and we're allowed to have these thoughts and discussions. She's open to it as well. But then also, like also other people around me, like it's hard to find people who I think actually love me because I'm so what do you call not contradiction. What's the word? I like to challenge things, so I'm gonna put things out there to get people's thoughts and opinions and reactions, but to take into a deeper discussion. I was like, all right, since I pushed your button in this way, let's talk about this. Why are you feeling like this? And why don't you want to understand the point of whatever I'm posting or talking about? That's not contradiction. What is it? I can't think of the word. You know the word. What's the word? Bird, bird, bird. Just kidding. That's not the word. I got my headphones on because I realized my little mic sounds better when I'm trying to be more authentic and just go with my thoughts. Anyway, so that's why I got my headphones on, a little bit different, and I'm inside. It's a little bit colder outside. I went through sidetracking. I went through a veggie and smoothie sort of fast, and I lost 23 pounds in 10 days. And I'm not strict on it right now, but I'm still at least once where I'm doing this, then I'm easing back into solid foods. This one's an apple, fruits and veggies, and kale and cucumbers and all that type of stuff. You know, there's many reasons why I did that, but even yeah, like doing stuff like that, it's hard for Like my wife didn't want to join that with me, but she did. She lost 12 pounds. I lost 23 pounds. And like I said, it was all part of the mastery of the mind and the stomach because they're both one and the same but different. So that's why I did it. And, and just trying challenging things. Like I like to challenge myself and I like to challenge others. And then, like if they get past those challenging parts and they still are my friends, I'm pretty sure they got love for me. I got few friends who like really push past it and seek understanding and through all variety of ranges of things that I put out there. Like I was trying to challenge things. I try to challenge masculinity. I try and challenge the gender roles and all of that type of stuff. I challenge sexual assault. I challenge all these ideologies that people put out there because there's always a flaw to it. Um, it always, for some reason, they they're trying to port nonviolence or anti-violence through violent tactics, different ways, and you can't do that. And then they try and say the Martin Luther King thing, where it's you can't get rid of hate with hate, but with love. They say it, but they don't do it. Anyway, so even talking about stuff like that, that's challenging to people, and people don't want to hear it. They close me off. They close off the whole ideas, and that's because they would rather be closed-minded and stick to that. And I guess that's like my filter process. Filter people out and filters people's ideologies and beliefs. Like I don't want that, and and I don't, and the thing I don't really do it to them. They do it to themselves. They filter me out, and like I wish they would be open minded, and I had more people, but because they don't, that's unfortunate for them. Because I think I'm a swell guy. I really am a swell guy. Hey, just kidding. So there's that external, like how I always challenge people, but then also to be loved. Oh my God, I'm an Eeyore, like big time. My wife knows it, and I'm always down about stuff. I guess I'll just walk away. I guess you just don't love me right now. I do all kinds of stuff like that, and it's going on in my mind constantly. So like me even trying to love myself all the time, it's a struggle because I have these conflicting thoughts all the time. Oh, the word is controversial. Just to throw, like, I like to post controversial stuff. It just clicked. It just clicked. You know, sometimes stuff just clicks and comes back when you can't find it. So yeah, controversial postings. There's a lot of stuff that I would do just to get people's reactions and thoughts, and I'll create deeper discussions with that. I asked if people were attracted to my line of work because I was always posting stuff out there, and then I'll delve deeper into the thought process, into the reactive process, and all of that, and we would come to an understanding. And that was the main point, to come to an understanding. It's only if people allow themselves to go there and allow themselves to go through the struggle and be challenged and challenging their self as well. And a lot of it was me wanting to understand other people and understand other beliefs and ideologies as well. But yeah, so that was the whole thing. Why I believe it's hard external people to love me, because I do that on a constant. But of course, my mom is an unconditional loving mother, so she loves me through it all. Even when I challenge, like, oh my god, like I like to. I know I'm getting sidetracked, but I like to play around with my mom a little bit, and like she asked me stuff, all like when I started this juice, and she's like, why'd you start doing that? You don't need to lose weight. Like, you're fine, my boy. Typical mom thing to say. I was like, well, like, oh no, well the Lord told me, he's like, cleanse yourself, replenish yourself, and you'll find a new way and a new found abundance in your life. And she said, oh my God, praise the Lord. Then I swore. I was like, F yeah. It's like, that's what I was saying. She's like, well, you don't gotta say that. It's like, but that's the Lord's word coming through me. It's just a word. The F word is just another word, has multiple meanings. It's only people who want to take it in a negative connotation who are going to take it that way. It's a word. The Lord has graced us with plenty of words. It's just so stuff like that. And she's like, oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, it's just me and my mom's relationship. Um, Ever since I became an adult, that's how I am with her. I love her bunches. Um, so so yeah, it's that constant contradiction with my own thoughts and beliefs, and how, like, even going into the astrology part and understanding the astrology and the suns and the moons and Mercury and the north node and the south node, like how that's a conflict with me. Like, I came from a life where I was more spiritual than I am now, and I think I'm pretty spiritual. I guess that's a carry on from my past life. But then what also carried on was my addiction and my laziness. That's where, like, how spiritual can you be when you have addictions and laziness? Like, that's where I was in the past life, supposedly. That's what my South Node says. So, that is the thing that holds me back in this life. And my North Node is is being detail oriented because I'm a Virgo, and that's what I find myself doing. And like, oh, which even brings me upon the ideas of at work, and like how I refuse to not do certain things. Like, the managers and some other cooks, they're like, man, you need to speed up. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. Because I'm being detail oriented, making sure the bread's cut right, making sure there's enough. It's like equal amounts, and I stack them up right, and it's like all these like little details. You don't need to do it. Just throw it in there. And I'm like, sometimes I'll do it, but then I'm like, no, man. Like, this is me. I was just understanding, or just like coming to this thought process yesterday when I was at work. I was like, man, I can't tell him to stop doing what is me. There's an importance of me being detail oriented because it helps me in my video editing process. It's a main part of that, and then also the photography that I do on the side, and also educating myself and all of this other things. And when I was a presenter and an educator, all of this, it was the details, looking for things that are missing that other people don't talk about. And so, like, I was like, man, you're not gonna stop me doing this. Like, I'm gonna continue doing this because this is my process, and that's what makes it difficult for me. And and another part why it's difficult to love me, because if a person keeps on pushing me that way, I'm gonna start being a jerk back to them. Like yesterday with my manager, like, he was having me doing these like little cups of butter, and I didn't. I did the butter, and I walked by him to take it into the dishwasher area, and it was totally empty that the butter bin. I was like, I finished it, and I went and put it in the dishwasher area. And I swear, like 3 minutes later, I came back out and I started rolling up what do you call utensils. I started rolling them in napkins and salt and pepper packets. So I was sitting there doing that, and he came up and he sat down, or like leaned down above me. He was like, "So did you finish that butter?" And he annoys me a lot already, just because he what do you call, kind of takes attacks at my morals and ethics, and he's the one who challenges, like, don't be like this, don't do that, and whatever. Anyway, so I did that, and he was already kind of annoying. And I was annoyed by the work that was being asked of me. It's not my regular work that I'm supposed to be doing, or that I do. But so he leaned down and he was like, "Did you finish that butter?" And in my mind, I'm like, "You just looked at me when I walked into the dish area, and you looked down into the bin and seen that it was empty. You had to seen that it was empty." And I was like, "Nah." So yeah. So I responded to him. I was like, "Nah, no, I didn't." He's like, "What? Seriously?" I was like, "Nah." It's like, "I don't want to do it no more." He's like, "Well, what'd you do with the butter?" I said, "Man, I just dumped it." What? What? You did? You dumped it? I was like, "Yeah, man." I said I didn't want to do it no more. Then I couldn't hold it back anymore. I started laughing. I was like, "Yeah, man." It's like I already went and put it all back. Like in my head, I'm like, "Don't be stupid." Like the dude's, he's like a year younger than me, and he's got like a power control type of thing. Like he wants to, and he's different from the other managers who are fun and energetic, and they just breathe life and energy into the environment. And he's more, "Oh, you got to be like this. You got to do this. You got to do that. You can't do this," and a little bit more militant and jerky, bit of a jerk like about it. And like I can always take orders and be helpful, but yeah. So that's like an idea of, like, I'll be jerks to people if they annoy me. So it's hard for them others to love me, and then that's how it is with my kids too. Like I'll be jerks to them if they don't get it multiple times, and if they keep on breaking rules. And that's another thing. Like I got rules and regulations. Like there's, for me they're simple, but for them they don't want to follow them. Like an example right now, like just because my daughters are the extroverted ones, we sent them up to the Twin Cities to go stay with family, so they had other females, because they got a lot of female cousins, to hang out with them, and because we thought they're being safe up there. Anyway, come to find out that they're running around hanging out with all these people that they just met, and exposing themselves to people who, other kids who don't care that they're exposing themselves to whatever. So then I was telling my wife last night, that's upsetting to me, because like whenever we give them a little break, they always take advantage and abuse it. That's annoying. So yeah, then they had a big old con. I know that's a whole another story and a whole another problem. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I do a lot of my stuff for reasons, but then because I do all of that stuff, like I could understand why I'm hard to be loved, but I still continue to do all this stuff because there's a reason why I do it, and it's because I love and care about people. And if they want to filter themselves out, like, yeah, I had a hate for them to go, but then if they do it, then it's their loss, and it feels sad when they leave, or it feels sad when they leave, but just gotta let them go. I know I've been rambling a lot, but do you understand what I'm saying? You got any other thoughts and questions about this? Leave a comment down below if you do. Appreciate you for listening. But yeah, I think it's hard to be loved. It's real complex, and it's because I'm a whole contradiction, and I think a lot of us are that way. Let me know if I'm wrong. Okay. Live long and prosper. Until next time. Thanks for watching.